Here we go then, new paint shop, new paints. So I have moved into a different body shop and they're using PPG Envirobase. This is their wet bed, which is T490, which is 4:1 with I believe 495 reducer. Again, nothing that much different to what I've been using before with Standox and Spiezeka, which you've seen in the videos. And this job, we've already painted the whole side, and when we baked it, it had these weird little marks in it. We fitted the car up and then we tried to polish them and it just wasn't happening. So the polisher sort of came to me and said, look, can you do something with this, because it's not, I'm worried that I'm going to ruin it. So I ruined it instead. So that's, you know, we're not blending this paint that's in the cup. I believe, if I'm right, that's a 0.8 cup, so it's got 800ml cup on there, and it's leftover paint, so it's exactly the same paint that's on the side. So I'm not worried about blending. I'm just trying to colour in the top of the door. Sorry to keep cutting you guys off with my own adverts, but it's got to be done. So here's a quick little look at the UV chip repair kit from PainTeX, and a friend of mine, Adam, has sent me a nice little sort of before and after of a big silicone that he's found in the front wing. But he's applied the UV, dried it, sanded it, buffed it up nice, and the link for this will be in the description. So if you're interested, check that out, and I'll carry on with the video. Thank you. Yeah, we had those weird marks on there, and when we tried to flat them, you could tell that the paint underneath had let go of the panel. So this has had a paint job on the side before, and it looked like a new door. There was only the sort of the base paint and then what we'd put on it, and it had let go. So we're just sort of blowing the top of this door in. And you'll see this, technically this is our primer oven, and you'll see here I'm just using my PainTeX True Color Sun Match torch just to make sure that I've got coverage. That, you know, the worst thing is having a rework, but then not having a rework on a rework, because that's what I was just about to say. This is our primer oven, but you can see it's really clean. It's a full downdraft as well, so it's just, let's just quickly blow in that door. It doesn't stop the production, and we're just able to carry on. So you just see I'm giving it a drop coat. Although I use the one visit modifier in PPG, which makes it a bit like the Spiezeka and the Standox, where you can put it all on in one go. I think I noticed with the colour match torch there, it just wasn't quite right. So the nice thing is you can actually put paint on top of this, whereas with the Spiezeka and the Standox, it really didn't like being reapplied. With Spiezeka and Standox, with their one visit, it truly was one visit. You put it all on in one go, and then if you had to reapply it, it can be kind of tricky. You can't get it too wet, you can't faff about with it too much. So with this stuff, when it dries, you can go again if you need to, but I'm starting to find out the longer I've been here that sometimes the one visit modifier is a little bit deceiving. I've heard the gunman talk about it. The grey shades that are suggested by the computer when you're doing your colour match aren't quite right. I've had one or two like that, and it's not a bad thing, but it takes extra time. So you're thinking you're going in with your one visit and you put it on and you can walk away. You're actually having to do another coat and then maybe a drop over the top of that as well. But all in all, it's nice paint. It's just the colour matching that we're struggling with. And I've been watching Motivated Painters. Don't know if you guys watch them as well. Great guy, Gabriel. I've bought a few of his products and stuff in the past. He's a good lad. But I notice sometimes when he gets like a new bumper or something, he does blend the tailgate, the quarter panels, everything like that. And I wonder if it does feel a little bit like PPG have put the responsibility of sort of the colour matching on the painter. And that sounds funny to say, but with especially Standox, I love the Standox system, and for me, if it was my money and I'm buying one paint scheme, it would be Standox, because it just tells you out of 100%, this is a 97% match. So it's kind of accurate to that, whereas this gives you a decent match, but it's not quite right. So you should do your spray outs beforehand and stuff like that. And here's a quick little look before I go, because this is quite a short video. This is the CIMAC or CIMAC, some people call it different. It's an infrared drying system, so I'm just going to pull this dryer over towards the car, and those panels, a bit like and sort of your infrared lamps, but it's just on a robot on the top. So I think this is called the fly dry system, and all we're going to do is set it up to literally dry the area of the door, so we're not wasting gas heating the full oven, just to dry this one door off. So that it's quite unique. I've never come into contact with any place that uses one. We've actually got one in the main booth, which is a sort of it's all the sides, top, both sides of the car, and it'll just sort of fly past the car and infrared lamp the car as it goes by on the selected areas where you do it. So you just see here I'm programming it. We've got sort of preset modes, so it knows what it's curing, if it's primer or clear coat, things like that. And I was trying to get it to film here, but it moves so slow that you can't really tell. But that's kind of it. It moves along that rail, and we'll see you in the next one, because I've cut myself off again.